If you're interested in how Tesla can transform not just the transportation industry, but also renewable energy, insurance, and robotics, you won't want to miss billionaire chemist Palahapiti's outrageous pricing. In an interview, Target broke down his predictions for Tesla stock and explained why, in his opinion, the company's stock price will soar to levels never seen before in the stock market. Social Capital stated that, despite criticism of its high share price, he believes Tesla will see significant growth, doubling or tripling in value as it continues to disrupt the automotive industry with its focus on combating climate change. Tesla is anticipated to gain from the worldwide transition to renewable energy sources, including will cause a disruption in the electrical utility sector. Prepare to learn a lot and be inspired by Palahapiti's vision for a greener future. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to Wall Street Games and don't forget to hit that like button. The big disruption that's coming is to power utilities. Palahapiti believes that Tesla will be a major player in this disruption and that its stock price will continually increase as a result. On the CBS Midday program, Palahapiti stated that there are trillions of dollars worth of bonds and capital expenditures inside the global energy generation infrastructure, and that when that happens, Tesla would double and quadruple in value. According to Tamara, if you go to the three most progressive states, New York, California, and Massachusetts, you'll find that a large number of left-leaning individuals believe in climate science and climate change. While the cost per kilowatt hour to install solar panels on your roof and a battery wall inside your garage is at an all-time low, he also mentioned that the energy costs in those three states are the highest in the nation. Additionally, energy costs in these states compound annually at a rate of 3 to 4%, meaning that every 10 to 15 years, energy costs in these states double. In some cases, this is due to regulatory capture. But how do you explain the difference in costs? The utilities that serve 100 million households in the United States are a prime example of an industry where monopolies survive despite efforts to establish more of them markets. But in return for them, the law mandates that they spend a specific amount each year on things like replacing turbines, updating electricity lines, and making sure the switch from coal to wind power is seamless, to mention a few. It's like trying to build an app while being forced to build your own data center, and then realizing that you just want to use GCP to communicate with Amazon Web Services. To paraphrase, I just want to move on all that complexity itself. And some laws say no, you can't, you gotta use it, which is the experience of not only consumers but also industrial and manufacturing organizations here. Even if energy production is free, consumers are hit with a 100% increase in their bills every 5, 7, or 8 years due to the maintenance and replacement costs of aging infrastructure. Tama believes that Tesla exemplifies why the richest person on the planet need to be addressing and combating climate change. According to him, Tesla is actually a distributed energy company that is working to gather energy, store it, and use it in a way that makes it possible for people to work. Cars are merely one example of this. Despite worries from some Wall Street experts about the high price of Tesla shares, power barriers and solar panels are also available. I don't see why people are so focused on selling products that work. When things are functioning, you're paid to stick with people who know what they're doing. Palahapiti said that investors should continue to support entrepreneurs who are seriously changing the world. Is a man who is continuously ranked among the world's most significant entrepreneurs, so why place a wager against them? Providing sustainable energy and enabling a sustainable future are vital tasks that will be rewarded by people and markets. Thomas ended his explanation of why he thought people would want to live more sustainably. He stated that one current global trend is that every one of the 100 million homeowners will eventually construct a small power plant to compete with the roughly 1,700 public utility companies in the country. With solar panels installed on the roofs of every 100,000 homes, people realize they don't need the sun to run their homes. However, Thomas also explained that modern solar panels are not only functional in all weather conditions, but also have UV bands that allow them to extrapolate beyond the visible spectrum. This means that you can use them to power not only your home, but also, say, a data center for a company like Google or Facebook in exchange for a small check, effectively lowering your energy costs to zero. When a new potentially game-changing product enters the market, a critical event known as crossing the chasm occurs in any system, as observed by Clay Christensen. Here's how it breaks down statistically. 3 to 5% of the buyers are believers, people who bought the product on the basis of blind faith in the promise of a brighter tomorrow, even in the face of overwhelming evidence to the contrary. You can either cut the price to a point where buyers are willing to pay it, or you can make the features so appealing that people are willing to pay more if you want your product to sell in huge quantities. Must pay it. Regardless of the cost, it has come to light that solar panels and battery electric vehicles, EVs, are examples of the former, because individuals such as President Biden have proposed large sums of money for people to simply carry out this project, which is profitable for 100 million homes. You can see the current results of this. He also mentioned that although the price of the iPhone 14 has likely doubled over the last 14 or 15 years, we still consider it to be a necessary component of our everyday lives. Optimus is one of Tesla's many initiatives that could cause more disruptions than the iPhone did. Tesla's robot, Optimus, was on display at the company's 2023 Investor Day. The most recent iteration of Optimus, which was unveiled 19 months ago, can now walk, perform basic tasks, and pick up objects. What sets Tesla apart from competitors is that it uses the most cutting-edge real-world artificial intelligence, AI, to power its vehicles. You can think of them as robots on wheels. The main advantage we have, he claims, is that if his assumptions are correct, the timing of the robot's actions will be successful. I don't think anyone comes close to matching Tesla's level of expertise in real-world AI. It's not that helpful to have a humanoid robot if you have to program a reaction. Instead, it needs to be able to walk around autonomously and solve tasks. The creation of humanoid robots poses intriguing queries. Although we're still far from reaching Kardashev scales, we're moving in that direction. While robots may have domestic and industrial applications, their ratio to humans may exceed 1-to-1, raising concerns about what an economy means when output per person is much higher, and there's no upper limit to the number of people. In the long run, this is probably the least understood or valued aspect of what Tesla does, but will likely be worth much more than the auto industry, he added. Thomas also shared his thoughts on why Elon is such a special leader and a force of nature, as well as why there aren't many people who are like him. This is his response. It's an incredibly isolating set of trade-offs because, to your point, if you get tested, if you consider this again and estimate that there are 8 billion people in the world, perhaps 50 of them are placed in a position where they're creating something so monumentally important as Elon that they even have this choice. Of those 50, perhaps 10 are placed in a situation where they will actually have to sleep on the floor in their factory. And this is the outcome. Energy savings. It seems like there should and could be a lot more individuals with that type of influence. But it's unclear why only 50 or 10 people are placed in a position to make that kind of impact. We appreciate you seeing this film, which features billionaire Thomas Palahapesha's ideas on the future of renewable energy and shows how Tesla will profit 1,000 times more by seizing the next significant disturbance in human innovation. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. We hope you've learned a lot from his outlook on a greener future and its possible impact on the stock market. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Wall Street Gains and hit the like button to stay up to date with our latest content.